3, 2, 1, here we go. Bexley Test for English. Step 1, you need to turn the mic all the way up so then you can hear me speak clearly. Turn me up now. Here we go. Part 1 of this comprehension. I will read this out loud. We will discuss it. How I write an article by Tim Lott. So already I'm thinking this person is an author. My average working day bears very little resemblance to that of most people. So what are we saying? My normal day is nothing like other people. So all these phrases, just write it with me. Resemblance. If you resemble someone else, you might look like your brother, your sister. But here we are comparing a normal working day with someone else's working day. It wasn't always so. When I began my first novel, White City Blue, so already that sounds like maybe a story about the city life, maybe just looking up and then it's just so cloudy. I would not only sit at my desk for 7 hours a day. I hope this person is getting up and moving, can't sit down for that long. But don a suit to go to work. That's a really weird phrase. I've never seen that before. Don a suit, just wearing a suit, but maybe in a really cool style. Wear a suit. Those were the days when I believed that the amount of effort you put into a piece of work was directly related to the quality of work that resulted. Yes, this is a small problem. If you think you just keep working harder and harder at something, that it will increase, that it will work out even better. It might not. That's what Tim is saying. This person might be working 7 hours a day trying to write, but the words are not coming out. Maybe something is wrong. I realized quite quickly that sitting in front of that desk all day in my suit was a silly way of working. Oh dear, he's realizing. Much of the time I spent staring out the window, so not really doing anything, or being bored, or feeling angry with myself for being unable to get any words down on the paper. So this is actually called writer's block. This is when someone who is a writer, they just can't get the words out. They just can't put words together, so then they have nothing to write, and it kind of sucks, really. This person, 7 hours a day, feel like have done nothing. I was permanently frustrated, and the fact I could only manage a few hours of writing a day, invariably, that means not changing, because a variable means change. Write it with me if these are new words. Variable means change, so invariable is not changing. In the late afternoon produced extreme outbreaks of guilt. So what's really happening with this person? You're working in the afternoon and not doing much. That's why this person feels guilty. I mean, if you work for 7 hours a day, that time there should be an output. Something should work out. Let's keep going. I eventually got realistic. Nowadays, I know exactly how much juice, how much brain power I have in me, and don't try to squeeze out more than is available. So not going to overwork yourself. If you do, then it might hurt. It might lead to burnout. So I turn up at my office in North Kensington at 9:30 a.m. and spend the morning doing general non-creative work, answering emails, doing accounts, reading newspapers and books. I do a bit of tweeting. Oh, okay. So this person's on Twitter. And maybe hustle for a bit of journalistic work. This is a form of limbering up. So hustle, just working a tiny bit, as we can see. So really, part 1 of the day is like not doing anything too difficult. Limbering up, warming up. To limber, to warm up. Put it. Okay. So write it all down. The cool thing about YouTube video, you can always pause and then go back. Now I'm just going to move the whole page up. At 12 o'clock, I go and have lunch, a proper meal, 2 or 3 courses, in a very nice cheap cafe near Portobello Road, where I meet friends who are like me, unwedded to the idea of busyness. Unwedded, so they're not really sticking to this idea of being busy. That sounds a bit strange. 12 o'clock, you're going for a 3-course meal? No, that sounds too much food already, just midday. That makes no sense to me. We chew the fat, sometimes just have a nice time. Yeah, it looks like they're just wasting time. You see that bit, chewing the fat? I'm not even sure they're actually eating that, if they're eating meat here. I think they're just wasting time because they know they need to get back to work, but they don't. So that is called procrastination. You'll hear that word later. You know you should be doing something, but you're not. You're not. Sometimes just have a nice time. Sometimes discuss ideas. Well, I hope so. Some of which I use in my work. I often do a bit of shopping and I'm usually back in the office by 1 to 1:30. You know they're procrastinating. You know they're wasting time. What are you doing shopping? Don't you need to write things? Why are you buying your weekly shopping in that time range? Anyway, now I'm almost ready to start. Should have started by now. Ready to start. 9:30 is the start time. What's this person doing? Starting at 1:30. Oh, God, so funny. So 4 hours later, then you get to work. How funny is that? This is what human beings do. They want to protect their brain. Conservation of energy. You might be thinking, what's William talking about? People are avoiding that difficult thing because it actually costs a lot of brain power. The trick is to do that really difficult thing as soon as you can. It's called eat the frog. You might be thinking, what is he talking about? I'm not making this up. If you type in eat the frog into Google, like technique, you could even type in like productivity technique. That just means trying to do things as effectively as possible. So if you try to apply this to your real life, then, well, you're doing that really difficult thing straight away, and that is so good for you, because now the rest of the day is yours. It's very important, once you do something difficult, then you reward yourself after. If you don't, you're not really giving yourself a prize. Yeah, that is so important. Let's keep going. What is he doing? He's just wasting the whole day, mate. Come around 2 p.m, I have an energy slump. Yeah, because you haven't done anything. 4.5 hours later, you've basically done nothing. Oh, he's got an energy slump because of this bit. If you eat too much food, you actually feel tired because your body is breaking that food down. Especially if I have had a glass of wine. Well, there we go. What are you doing drinking a glass of wine at 1:30? Well, 12 p.m, that's when lunchtime is. He hasn't done anything all day. What a joke. This has been happening to me since I was a teenager. What, wasting time? Wasting the whole day? But in those days at school, I was in no position to do anything about it. Now I've had a bed in my room. I take a nap. I never wake later than 45 minutes. Why is this person taking a nap? Hasn't done anything. You only go to bed if you've done something. Dear, so funny. 3 p.m. I don't understand. Oh dear, I'm finally feeling sharp. What? Because you've eaten a 3-course meal? Because you've bought your shopping and you had a glass of wine. Oh, now you're ready to work. So funny. Is this a comedy show? And determined, motivated, and ready to go. Oh yeah, you need another glass of wine? Goodness gracious. But before I can really address myself to creative work, yeah, probably needs to eat another 6-course meal, which I always find intimidating. That means scary. Here's a cool word for scary. Nothing to do with Halloween. Daunting, which means a task. A job is so big, people don't even start because they know there could be many steps. Put it. Daunting. There are too many steps. It's so difficult to finish. a daunting task, and therefore put off as long as possible. Well, yeah, because I've just put it here, procrastination. I switch on a. All right, next page. We're 10 minutes in. Let's hurry up. I switch on a computer program called Freedom, which prevents me from accessing the internet. Yeah, this person definitely needs some apps, those really special apps where they block information coming in, or else people will just do whatever they want and then they waste the whole day. I then write for 45 minutes solid. Good. Finally, I take a break. Yeah, 15-minute break is good. 45, 15, that's actually pretty good. Let's change this into a maths question. If you work for 45, then you have a break. This is a really cool ratio, 3 to 1. So what are we saying? You're doing 3 times as much work than you are resting, and then you get things done. Some people, they want to take it easy. It depends what's happening, 1 to 1. So maybe you work for 30 minutes, then you give yourself a break. You might want to flip that round. It might be maybe a bit stricter, 2 to 1. So let's say you work for 30 minutes and then 15-minute break. So why is William writing this kind of ratios? Because it's like you're just saying to yourself, you do most of the work first. I play for 1 minute, but then I'm going to work for 2 minutes, so it's twice as much work. This is a really nice ratio to go for. Then I do the same thing again. Okay, so finally this dude has got some routine going. 3 to 1 ratio throughout. Again, that sounds like 4 times. So 45 times 4 is 180, which is 3 hours. Nice. Until I've got 3 solid hours of writing under my belt, which translates to 2,000 words. Good stuff. Okay, finally, now I understand Tim. This is the way he plans his day. In these hours, my peak hours, I'm fluid. That just means your brain is forming connections. Do you remember a previous word here? This person said juice. So brain juice, just getting the mind working, producing your best work. Productive, that's the word I said before, and full of zest. 2 meanings for zest. This is like the lemon juice. Ah, fantastic language, double meaning. Compared to juice above, but here zest is passion. Oh, that's so clever, that type of writing. It's like a hidden meaning. I'm using the word zest, but I don't mean juice, and the person wrote juice before. That is so clever. Wow, I bet there's a technique for that. Hidden implied meaning. The rest of the working day is mere steam. Ah, cool comment. Mere means just, it means only. And steam, this person is working, just like we've said. Juice. Only working, like full power. Imagine a steam engine. The train goes forward, and then you keep working. We're 13 minutes in, almost done, guys. Almost done. I go home. My wife asked me how my day's work went. She usually puts the word work in invisible inverted commas. That's quite funny. Looks like a comedy show now. How was work today? Did you do any work? Which just means, well, you went to work, but did you actually do it? Understandably. She knows that when Tim goes home, there may be days where he feels outbreaks of guilt. Do you remember that phrase before? He works for 7 hours and still can't produce the writing that he wants. It's happened before. That's why understandably is put. I tell her the same as ever. It went well. To tell you the truth, it was as good as it gets. We are done. So 14 minutes in. Good. Nice passage. I've never read it before, so it's quite exciting for me. Here we go. My normal way to end these videos. In the top corner, it will be the next video once I've released it. Top left, it will be going through the passage questions. Comprehension 1 to 13. And bottom left, it will just be another useful video. It is now 2:01 AM, Wednesday, the 4th of September 2024. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.